Hey everyone, Zephyr here with the first episode of my Steam War Vapor recaps. Going over 6 different episodes, 8 games apiece, gonna go back over all the games that I've done so far this season, as I'm calling it, series, season, whatever, and we'll see what they all look like before I move into the next set. First game up is Grapple Knight. It's an old school platformer with a grapple mechanic to it. So you can pull yourself forward by it, grasp some of the platforms to hold on, use it to pull enemies in, grab items, or just, forgo it entirely and kill them with the axe. Combined with the momentum-based ramp jumping and the combo system, and of course hidden areas and collectibles, this looks to be one very fast-paced game as soon as they finish it up. It's still in development, but I'm looking forward to seeing the next build on it. Next we've got Of Light and Shadow, a puzzle platformer with a character swap mechanic. You play as Dr. Shadow, who thrives in the shadow, and Mr. Light, who thrives in the light. Each of them die in their opposite. It's a very creative puzzle game that's simple to learn and very difficult to master. The difficulty scales up quick. This one's already fully released and free to play, so try it out for yourself and see what you think. Following that, we've got Bust and Rush, a heavily score-based obstacle course runner. Originally designed for the iOS, this one made the jump to PC, and now you can eat up little segments of time right on your computer. It's got multiple modes, so try and keep it a little bit varied, because otherwise you're just trying for the highest score you can. Blast through nearly everything in your way, but don't get flattened as you aim for that high score on the leaderboard, because really, score is what this game is all about, challenging other people and keeping going. And this one is Eryi's Action, a cutesy looking little platformer that is seriously sadistic. It will find any and every way to kill you, and you will probably die to it the first time through. Expect to die. In fact, you can't run out of lives. It gives you negative lives. They do everything in their power to make you lose and frustrate the hell out of you. But it's enjoyable at the same time. You never really want to give up. This one will definitely have you banging your head in frustration, but there's nothing quite like actually completing a stage. No game does it the same way. Now, Cognition is different from any of the others so far. It is a point-and-click adventure game with a heavy mystery thriller focus. You play as a detective with some sort of cognitive or psychic powers, and she's always going after dangerous, crazy people. This is one game that is definitely not afraid to get its hands dirty. There's some really, really wicked scenes in it that are just kind of downright disgusting. But with an art style all of its own and a very interesting little cognition mechanic, it's definitely worth looking at. Project Black Sun is a game with more old school appeal than any game I've played since they weren't old school. It's still what you'd call a platformer, but it's got the level design and explorative nature of games like Castlevania, while at the same time giving you a gun and making it into some entirely different game. This game is a must try, and the fact that it's not on Steam yet is practically a crime. If you've ever played a Super Nintendo game, you have to see this one, just for the art style if nothing else. Second to last for this episode, we've got Bleed. It is a twin-stick shooter with everything that you could imagine in a crazy bullet hell game. Multiple weapons, a triple jump, bullet time, enemies everywhere, and punishing bosses. This is one fast-paced game that will have you bringing everything to the table just to get through it. And with a very hard mode as well, the difficulty never ends. Try it out for yourself and see if you can become the greatest hero ever. Last on our list today is Waking Mars, a much slower paced game about exploring and revitalizing the ancient world beneath the surface of Mars. This is a very visually active game that won't ask a whole lot of you as a player, as it lets you just enjoy it at your own pace. Take in the scenery, the science, the music, and just enjoy your time in the game. This game's fully out, released, and on Steam, ready for you. This one's all about discovery, survival, and the mysteries that could be amongst the stars. And that's it for the first Steam War Vapor recap, a quick look back at the first 8 games on my list. Another set will be coming up though, so stay tuned, thank you for joining me, and I will catch you all later.